Okay, everybody. We're here with Crystal's Wrath developer blog, and I guess we're gonna do a little bit of an FAQ. We got quite a lot of questions, a lot more than we were expecting, and it seems like a lot of people are pretty interested. You got anything to say, Jamie?
No, I don't.
Beautiful.
So, let's just do this.
Alright, well, one of the, probably the most frequently asked question is, what consoles or systems will the game be on, or, will we be trying to get them on any consoles? It's pretty much gonna be, PC only, and, possibly Mac. We really don't have any kind of power to do, an actual console release. For, many reasons. So, don't expect that. Pretty much.
Don't expect Mac either. And if we do release it on the Mac, don't expect it to be a good port.
Because we don't really have a decent enough Mac to test a fairly next-gen-ish game.
Now it's more of a current gen, but...
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, point, counterpoint, whatever.
And next question is multiplayer.
There is none. No
isn't
multiplayer.
any. Never really planned to do multiplayer with this, and frankly, I don't even see how that would work.
Oh, don't ask, because then we'll get the suggestions.
Well, we're not doing it. We're not changing it now. We're a bit too far. What are we gonna crash deathmatch? Don't expect that.
A couple of people have asked if there's going to be DRM. There will not be. The game is free.
And moving right along with relating to multiplayer stuff, achievements and leaderboards. Now, we don't have a plan to do anything like that, but I think it would be cool.
Right now,
we could do like
no.
we could do offline achievements. Yeah, that'd be easy.
Yeah, that gets answered later on. But as far as leaderboards, no. There are stats and stuff, but they're not competitive stats. It's just stupid stuff like how many times has Crash blinked since I started the game. It's nothing worth competing over.
Steps and calories burned and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Will Crash be like he was in X or like he was in X? Whatever that means. I don't even know what you're getting at with that.
People ask, is Crash going to be like he was in the Naughty Dog games, or is he going to be like he was in Twinsanity, or is he going to be like this or that? And
I think the answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
Will he be like he was in Crash in the Naughty Dog days, or will he be like the newer stuff? Yes.
The answer is yes, because he's like all of them.
He's kind of a festering, bubbling crockpot of the likable bits of all of those.
And I don't know why people have to ask, seeing as how he never has before, beyond 2 words, really. No, Crash will not talk.
Probably just like, whoa! But no, for that. Pancakes! No, just no. Will X be like X game in the series? I don't like the way you write with all this variable crap.
The game is a mixture of stuff from all across the series and new original stuff. It's not a clone. We're not trying to make Crash 3. We're not trying to make Crash 2. We're not trying to make Twinsanity.
We're not trying to make Twinsanity 2. No Twinsanity. There's been a lot of that.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
We're getting to that. Will Crash have any abilities or special items?
No. And pretty much everything Crash can do, we've already shown. It's pretty much just Crash 2, ability-wise. And he can double jump. If there's anything that we have, it would be a surprise.
So maybe some secret little cheat codes or unlockables in the end, like, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe a few things, but, no super spin kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no...
We haven't really thought to design the game with that kind of stuff in mind. It's kind of late now. Translations and ports and stuff like that.
Right now, the answer is no.
Yeah, we don't even have the script finished for English. So maybe if somebody wants to do it for us and all we have to do is plug it in later, that might be a possibility. But we gotta trust you to not put a bunch of swears in there and just totally jack it up.
And another problem is that it would require a lot of extra coding that probably just isn't necessary. Like, if you know enough English to read our blog and understand what we're saying in these videos, you know enough English to play the game.
I wonder if we could work out a way to use like a text file or some kind of binary file that could just store all the subtitles at least.
Yeah, I think we can, but it's complicated. But I was thinking people were thinking we were going to translate the voices and stuff.
No, that's lip sync. We're doing like the lip sync animation is totally done by hand. There's no face effects or
there's no algorithms, any of that crap.
There's no automatic phonemes or anything like that. So far, the only way we've done it is just by animating with morph targets to phonemes. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen unless it's like out of sync weird dubbed, but that's still going to be hard. If there's ever going to be a translated version, it'll just be subtitles.
No audio translation.
Bugs, patches, and DLC, what do?
It's very, very unlikely that we'll patch the game, unless there's something like terribly game-breaking, like if you get to like the second island and the game is just like, nah.
Well, we plan to do a lot of rigorous testing amongst ourselves and eventual testers.
We don't have to support the game for years.
As for DLC, I don't even know what we would do.
Anything that we would come out with, it would just be an update. It wouldn't really be. Nothing would be substantial enough to call it DLC.
There wouldn't be any DLC, but we are planning skins that will be in the game that we release anyway, which would be acquired from unlocking stuff.
Yeah, for anything that like nowadays would come out as purchasable DLC is already in the game.
Yeah. When did we start working on this game? Well, pre-production, like planning and stuff, we started in 2011, but we didn't actually start physically putting the game together in the engine until... When did you get your new computer?
Middle of 2012.
Yeah, mid-2012 is when we actually started putting it together.
We didn't get really started until like September.
Okay, now we're to Twinsanity.
Yeah, if you're going to send us a question, do not ask us if the game is like Twinsanity. We get it. People like Twinsanity. We're not trying to say Twinsanity is bad. We like Twinsanity. But we're not trying to make Twinsanity 2. This game is not a sequel to Twinsanity. Twinsanity is not the only Crash game.
May I just add that this game actually isn't a sequel to any Crash game.
Yeah, this game is its own Crash game. It's not Twinsanity 2. It's not Crash Bandicoot 2. Cortex Strikes Back 2.
It's not Crash Team Racing 2.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
It doesn't specifically follow any chronological place in the series, and it's unrelated to anything in Twinsanity.
No, it's not Twinsanity.
Yeah. Really, the only thing Twinsanity like about it is it's just inspired from the open world, genre of adventure platforming. Which kind of leads into the next thing written down here is what kind of game is this? It's a platformer in open world. It's not a racing game. It's not a party game or anything of that.
There probably will be some mini games, but they're not. Well, let's go play
Not
Mario
like-
Party.
Not like Crash Bash.
Yeah, no Mario Party.
It's not like entirely that. There might be like a few side things that you could call a mini game, but it's not a party game. Cameos. Will there be characters, featured that are not Crash?
No.
No. There are original characters, but
A select few.
no Spyro, no Jack, no Ratchet, no Clank.
Nathan Drake is not the final boss. Someone actually said that.
He's not?
No. His blank character in the game. You should add this character. We'll be announcing more characters in the future and keeping some a surprise. We already have a full cast.
And just to go on record, I don't know if I'm going to have to cut this or not, but I'm going to say that most, if not all, of the classic baddies will be there. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, mostly because people have a different opinion of what classic means, like I was talking about earlier.
Without getting into specifics, the ones you'd expect. But you'll know that soon enough. You'll know who's there. When's it coming out? We're working on this in free time. Things get done as they get done, but we're shooting for 2014-ish. If we work at our good pace.
The earliest you can expect it is probably middle 2014, so don't start bugging us the second it's January 1st. It's like, so the game's gonna be out 2014.
But that's not to say we might not have a public demo by then. And that leads into the next question about demos. Can I have a demo?
There is no demo yet. If we make a demo, the demo will be up on the blog. You won't have to ask about the demo. The demo will just be there.
To right. At this point of the game's development, I wouldn't even call it demo-worthy.
There's alpha, and then there's pre-alpha, and then there's what we are. We're not to a point where we want people scrutinizing it.
Yeah, we might soon enough in the future have, we want to get it into people's hands, but we don't want to hand them crap. So hang tight for that. Kind of leading into the next question. When will the demo be? Whenever it is, really. But when it's there, it won't be hidden. You'll be able to find it. It won't be obscure at all. It's not going to be a secret. It'll be well known when there's a demo.
We'll announce it ahead of time.
Yeah, we'll say there's a demo coming, a good bit prior.
We don't know when it'll be. If there will be one, you'll know ahead of time before it comes out. But right now, there is none.
And if you think, geez, I'm just going to be a tester, I'll get to play it before everybody else. That leads into the next question. Can I be a tester?
When we need testers, we will ask for testers. It will not be first come, first serve. So don't click refresh on the page 15 times a day thinking, if I get in first, I'll be the tester. Because, no, that's not how it's going to work. Nor will we pick every person who applies to be a tester.
Yeah, and going off that, we are actually going to be doing applications for testers. I'm thinking we're going to do like 2 classes of tester. There's like a debugger and like a gameplay tester, just to say if the feel is right, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're going to have to apply for both.
Yeah, you're going to have to actually apply. We're going to probably try to get in touch with you on Skype or an email, and it's going to be a process, so don't think that you're going to play the game early just because there's going to be a tester position.
And if you're going to be emailing us when we start the testing and being all, ooh, lay crash, XD, LOL. No, you're not getting it.
Yeah. Harassing us is the quickest way to get yourself ignored. When we want testers, there will be an application form. Don't email us directly about it. Use the application form. That would also probably be the best way to get us to see it. But emailing us directly about it and bugging us 20 times a day will ensure you don't get to be a tester.
Which reminds me, and this isn't on the FAQ, but it probably should be, if for whatever reason you see these videos or you see our blog and you think that that gives you reason to try adding us to Skype or MSN or anything like that, no. Because as far as I know, neither of our Skype names are public. So for you to find them, you would have to guess them. So I'm just going to tell you right out that I'm not going to add anybody that I don't know to Skype and talk about the game to them. So if you're just adding us to Skype looking for demos and stuff ahead of time, it's not going to happen. Don't bother. Because I've gotten a ton of requests on Skype, and I know my Skype name's not out there, so I know you didn't find it from me. So
yeah, that's just generally creepy.
Yeah.
Anything you want to know about the game, right now we're answering it. And if some reason, something you want to know, if you have a good question that's more specific, ask it on the blog.
That's what the Ask Us page is for.
Yeah. people who want to help out with the game, people who want to model, people who want to texture, people who want to do this and that and the other thing, not falling under the realm of tester.
We have a page for that.
Yes, we have a link on the blog. Help us. There you can email us directly with examples of your work. Chances are we'll ask you to hang tight until we have a more specific need, like concept art or a specific model or something like that we for some reason can't produce, or if we're not like professional here and we don't know everything, so there might be plenty of things that you'd be better at than us, and we'd love to put it in the game.
And read the guidelines before you send in the email.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason.
Would you like to go over the guidelines right now?
Yeah.
Just skim them.
If you're going to be submitting something, don't waste our time. If you really, really know you're not up to the quality, like if you're like, here's some stick figures, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't send it. Let me put it this way. If you look at it and you think, maybe I shouldn't send this in, probably not. But if you do send it, we will look at it. We're not dicks.
Yeah.
So we'll
And going off of that, if you do email us and you don't hear back right away, don't just assume we're dicks. We've gotten a surprisingly crap load of emails since we started this, and it just takes a while to get back and write a decent personal response.
Yeah.
Chances are you'll be getting a reply from Jamie. He's kind of the more public relations guy, I guess. If you manage the blog, we both kind of work on the Facebook.
A lot of the time, most of the submissions are things that I don't really deal with. Like, I'm mostly the technical side. I do modeling occasionally, but mostly the modeling and art is Pat. So I have to, when someone sends something in, I have to see if their work is something that he can work with. So 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a response immediately.
And animators, it's a little bit more complicated that for animators. Like if you just want to like make a tree for us or something, like that's fine, that's great, that'll work. But like something that needs assets passed back and forth, we're gonna wait on that a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
when we get to that, we're going to be a lot more scrutinizing. So if you're not prepared to be, I don't want to sound creepy, but watched
like a hawk.
Yeah, watched like a hawk. Because if you do submit something, and we're like, yeah, we want this guy, and then you animate something for us, but then later you leak something, we're going to not use your stuff and we'll find someone else.
The chances are we won't talk to you ever again.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be giving max files of like crash and stuff to too many people. So we'll probably be able to narrow down who did it. Who done it.
Let me put it this way. We'll still credit you, but in the credits we'll put you under dicks. When you submit something, you have to send examples. Don't just send an email being like, hey, I bet I could voice Engine. And then you don't have anything in there. Second of all, we're not looking for voices yet. When we are, we'll let people know.
Yeah, we'll have another application for that probably. Yeah. And
please,
we'll post a cast list so you know what we're looking for. And we'll talk to you about that, and we'll probably have live Skype sessions for recording so we can give real-time direction.
Back to what I was saying. You need examples. Like, you can't just be like, I'm a really good painter. But
but you've got nothing to show for it.
You don't send any paintings in. How am I supposed to know that?
So far, I don't think we haven't got too much of that, have we?
Most people send in examples, but
some people have sent some surprisingly good stuff, and it's amazing that we have the opportunity to work with such talent. But like I said, hang tight, and we'll get back to you. It's a bit complicated.
I'm just amazed people care.
I'm amazed too. That's like I said, we're surprised with the response we got from this, and we're just trying to keep up with it. It's a big motivation to keep working, having such support, and I should just let you finish.
There's a really important one is don't brag. Like,
yeah, we did get a lot of that. Or not too much. But.
Most people didn't, but we had one guy talk about how the creators of the original games thought he was good at what he did. That's great and all, but we're not Andy Gavin, we're not Jason Rubin, so we need to hear you ourselves.
Yeah, if they did say you're good, that's great, but those aren't credentials. We need to see an example.
Yeah.
Just saying that I have Jason Rubin's blessing and Andy Gavin kissed my hand. It's like, well, that's good, that's cool, but let's see what you can do. If you are good.
Yeah, don't be like, I won many an art contest in my day.
Yes.
Well, if you've won art contests, showing us your art should be sufficient.
I made a rather dashing diorama in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Alright.
Another thing, 3D artists. If you're gonna submit examples, obviously any kind of example that looks good is okay, but we're really not looking for hyper-realistic, super high poly stuff.
Yeah, cartoony, lower poly is actually kind of where we're going.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the game at a level where it looks good universally and can be played by people who may not have your fancy-pantsy NVIDIA's super dildo deluxe graphic card.
If you are going to submit something, if you have examples of the kind of work you can do, pretty much anything will suffice for that. But if you want to submit something to actually be in the game, it would be really nice if it actually fit the style and didn't stick out weird.
Yeah. And we know we haven't really clarified the style. Like, even in the videos we put up, some things are hand-painted, some are more realistically textured, but that's because we haven't really decided yet.
Yeah, we're kind of bouncing around back and forth.
We're leaning towards hand-painted, cartoony stuff, but it hasn't really been 100% settled yet. So if you're a texture artist, submit all kinds of stuff, not just realistic, not just cartoony, because we might end up somewhere in the middle. We're not looking for programmers, like, at all. For the most part, the core of the code is pretty much done. Like, it works as a Crash engine right now. It needs tweaking, and there are specific things like boss battles that need to be coded when we get to them. But
there's a lot of special case stuff still, but main core,
it's mostly
you can, like, with the way our game engine is set up right now, you can open up a new UDK map, start throwing in crates and scenery, and you could have a level.
Yeah, you can build an entire Crash level right now.
Yeah, you could, if you throw in a rail camera, you could have, like, a Crash 2 level.
Yeah, the coding we're good on. We don't need any extra help with that. Like, Patrick does some code, but he does that without asking. Most of the time he does it well enough that I don't care. But we're not really looking for extras on that. One last guideline is that in the future, we might need to change the guidelines for some reason. So you have to be willing to sign on with any guidelines we add in the future. So,
not that that's going to be like a majorly anything bad by any means.
No, nothing like that.
We're not going to be like, now you have to suck our wieners.
we're not going to like want your soul in writing or anything. It's for safety purposes.
But overall, we want this to be a community project. We want anybody who can and is willing to help out and lend some kind of creative hand into making this game. We want to bring those people together because, we all want to see a new Crash game, but it just seems like it's not happening, so do something. Let's put forth some effort to actually make a new Crash game happen rather than just complaining about it. And that's why we're offering people to help. Do we accept donations? I'm surprised we were actually asked this.
Yeah, me too.
When we came into this, we never planned on making any sort of money off of it. We never thought about accepting donations, and we don't really want to, and for some legal reasons we can't ask for donations. So we don't want to accept donations. We are not asking for donations. We don't accept donations. Don't donate.
We do not receive, accept, ask for, or wish for payment of any kind.
Except for the smile on your face.
Which leads us to, how much will the game cost? For the low, low price of $0.00. Nah, it's gonna be free. Blank needs to be more like this. Blank needs to be more like that. We like suggestions and everything, but don't tell us how we need to do things.
And as much as I just said, this is a community game, and we're open to suggestions, and we're open to creative help.
Like, ultimately, it's me and Pat's game. We spent so much time on this thing. We want suggestions. We want people to feel like they can help and be part of it, but we don't want to be told how to make our own game.
And here's the thing, we appreciate suggestions, and if something's genuinely a good idea, we'll consider it. But if you just come in with, like, the game needs to be like this, it's gotta have this, that, and the other thing.
And Crash is too fat.
You're not being productive, and, I'm not saying this to be a jerk or anything, but, you can make your own fan game. We've been doing it, and it's not impossible. We encourage you to make your own if you don't like ours. We're using UDK, but, there's Unity out there. There's, there's a CryEngine.
Torque is another one.
And if you're really feeling like a genius, Gamebryo. Or if you're feeling like a really big genius, you could just download yourself Visual C.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no shortage of options.
If 2D is more your style, you could use Stencil or Game Maker or whatever that other one is that no one ever remembers but still seems to be popular. Construct or something like that. Yeah, it's a Construct. But yeah, there's.
I've also used Dark Basic in the past for.
Yeah, there's so many game engines.
Yeah, there's
and
no
lots of them are really easy to learn.
Everything takes learning. There's always a learning curve, but if it's worth doing, it's worth putting the time in.
Yeah. So basically, what we're getting at is if you're not. Well, this sounds kind of douchey, but I don't mean it douchey. If you're not willing to put the time in yourself, you really shouldn't be insulting or complaining to us about how we do it.
Yes, if you think you can do better, we encourage you to do so. People asking us to send them our models or any kind of music or game assets or graphics and or renders. I don't know why you would need those things. I guess maybe eventually the only thing that would come close to something we would give away is like maybe renders. We might put together like a fan site or a press kit or something if it gets to that level. But I mentioned this a little bit ago for the animators, but like models, probably most definitely not. Yeah. Like I said, we put in a lot of time. If we have free time and you ask for tips, maybe. Like, we're not like here to like hide secrets or anything. But,
yeah, and we're not trying to be selfish.
But we're also not going to be making full-fledged tutorials by any means.
Blank looks bad. You should do it over. It's terrible. The game's not done yet.
Yeah, if an animation looks, wonky, if a model looks funky, if a texture's bad,
if Crash looks like he runs too fast, or
anything like that, remember the game isn't done. I don't even know what percent I'd call it, but probably like 80% of it is placeholder, meaning that it will soon be replaced by a much better version or something like that.
And I've gotten from now until the very minute we upload the game to tweak run speeds and jump heights and all that kind of stuff. And really, you can't judge how a game feels from looking at it. You have to actually play it. So,
but yeah, if something looks bad or anything like that,
it's not done.
And chances are we know.
Like, a lot of people like to comment about Aku Aku, and he's not done.
Yeah.
Especially texture-wise. We know some things aren't done. Most things aren't done.
And we hope you understand that. Games don't just materialize. They develop over a long time with a lot of hard work. What will the game be rated, Jamie?
The game won't be rated because the ESRB is only for publicly released games. And if you live in Japan, I don't know what the hell that thing is called, but they won't rate it either. It's a fan game. We don't plan to sell it. So
we rate it everybody who's cool enough to handle it.
Yeah. If you are old enough to have played the first Crash game, you're definitely old enough to play this. And,
we're going to try to put our sense of humor into it, but we're not going to put our language into it. At least not to nearly to the extent.
And as you heard in this FAQ video, we don't swear anywhere near as much as we swore in that one video. It's called Putting On.
Yeah, I think I wanted to mention that. A lot of people were complaining about our etiquette in the first video we posted on Pat Strikes Back, and we really weren't thinking about it. We really weren't. We kind of just like hit record and we played our game and we talked about it and decided to upload it and see what people think. And we were just being stupid jerks, really. Yeah, so if you were offended by our presentation or if it made you think any less of us, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But
there's a difference between a goofy video that we made for giggles.
Yeah, it was. What time was it? It was like 2 a.m. We're just screwing around, being stupid. You know, the way we'd normally talk to each other on like an episode of SFG or something.
Yeah, we're not.
But we're gonna try to everything related to Crystal's Wrath. We're gonna tone that down a lot. We want as many people to see this as possible, and
I'm just generalizing, but if the game went through the ESRB, it would pop out the other end with an E10. We can't officially say, oh, it's E10 plus everybody 10 and up, but it's everybody 10 and up. And we came to the conclusion a long time ago that if we do write any sort of swearing into the dialogue, it'll be bleeped, first of all, and second of all, it won't be extreme.
Looking at the next thing, who's doing the music? Everything that you've heard so far in terms of music in the game, I did. But that's one of the things we're looking for people to do is at least consult with on music. I'll probably be like a music supervisor and trying to keep track of that and make sure everything fits a general style.
Yeah, there will probably be some style matching.
But we're still trying to establish a theme for the music in general.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever like music's gonna come pretty late, I think.
Yeah.
What game engine? We said that earlier.
Yeah.
We're using UDK. Check it out. Epic.
Who's working on the game when you're answering these questions? Get back to work, lol.
For one thing, we don't spend all day answering questions. We don't spend all day of our lives working on the game.
And
we have lives to live.
I read and write quickly. It's not like it takes me 3 hours to answer the 8 questions we get a day. So it's not like it's really cutting into the time here.
Even if it does take an extra few minutes, we thought we would lend that hand to the community to show some kind of connection. We're not trying to put ourselves up high on a pedestal or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're trying to connect with you guys and, you know, we'll answer you. And if you got a legitimate question, please ask it.
If it's not in this FAQ, which is really long and really in-depth. So
anyway, thanks for listening to us ramble. I hope we answered some questions.
Please don't ask the ones we just answered.
Yeah, if anything you ask from this point on,
if it was
in
in
this
FAQ,
video, we're not answering.
We might even copy paste this guy didn't read the FAQ.
Yeah, just be sure to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. Be sure to hit the like button. Pop in on the blog frequently. Keep up with the updates. We'll try to post a video every week or so, maybe. Keep a lookout for that. Links for everything are in the description below. I think it's about time to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right.
And cut.